welcome to my channel. Well, I got this big Old Hickory. It's listed as a butcher knife. And it's got like a 14-inch blade on it. Now, what I noticed that probably made it a second is this right here. Not so much the rust, but see, they were trying to put that secondary grind on. And on this side, it just dug into the metal too deep. It didn't do it on this side. At first, I thought it was one of these stamps, you know, that they had just stamped down there, but I saw what happened. You can see he was starting to do the grind, and he went too deep, and he went, oh, crap. Because over here, it's not really, it's a secondary bevel, but it's already laid back pretty far. And here, I don't know. Anyways, it's no big deal. Now, with this up here, I just took that rust eraser. Some of you people in the comments were mentioning, just use that, you know, an eraser block or something like that. And I have two of them. One of them is a kind that's just like foam with a layer on the outside of some kind of oxide. And I've worn that one out. And the other one is like a rubbery eraser that actually does, you know, it's smaller, but it works. And that's the one I use. You can kind of see a little shine, but you know, this isn't going to matter because this is a 1095 carbon steel. But this gives us a good opportunity to test the hardness, because I looked, Smoky Mountain Knife Works sells these, the new ones, for like 20 bucks. And in the specifications it says heat treated steel, but it doesn't say what the heat treatment, you know, the Rockwell is. So, great, yeah, it's heat treated, but what did you heat treat it to? Inquiring minds want to know. So, to use a tester, you're going to hit some spot that you know you're going to leave a mark when you test it. Now, I was thinking about this. If you had enough room, you could do it on the edge of the blade, because you're going to sharpen that, but that's not enough room. The test thing says you don't want to go the whole length of the metal. You don't want to go 5 millimeter in length, you know, in distance. And you're not pushing down to try to file the hell out of the metal. So this is the lowest one that's got in the tester. And with a knife, this is the way I would start, because if the knife is above Rockwell 40, which it should be on most steels, this thing should just slide right off the steel. You know, the steel should be harder than it. So I'm going to try it right here because I don't care. And it's, you can see it. So let's zoom in a little bit. All right. Uh-oh. I can't zoom in that one anymore. My battery's bulging. Sounds like a personal problem. No, the battery on the phone. All right, let's see if it'll let me zoom. No, it won't. What the hell? I think something's being mashed out. Hold on, let me fix this camera. All right, I had to take it out of its little holder thing, little protector thing. All right, so you know, on a regular knife, like a pocket knife or something like that, if you were testing it, I thought one area might be good would be down here, but it's not big enough. So usually what I do is just go alongside right here, where it's going to get scratched anyway. That's where I've been testing other kind of knives. But let's get to this one. All right. So first off, I'm no expert at this, but I got the idea behind it. Yeah, that feels like it's digging in. That slides right there, though. So it's above 40. All right. And we'll try 45. It's probably not going to be much above. It's probably not going to get way into the 50s, I would think. I mean, it can. I want to make sure I'm not just hitting one of these ridges. That's digging in. I'm getting a scratch. I don't know if you can see all this. I'm way over here. Sorry, didn't know I was zoomed in. See, I was going like this, and I can get a scratch. Along the edge here, though, it slides, so maybe they just tempered the edge. That's weird. Alright, let me unzoom, because I keep going off camera. No, not that. Unzoom is what I'm looking for. There we go. Sorry about that. Alright. So yeah, I think parts of the blade are between 40 and 45 Rockwell. But let's see what we can get to start digging in on this. Probably the next one. Next one being 50. Alright, where? Yeah, you can see. You can see. No, it's still rolling. Up here it'll probably dig in. Yeah, it could. Huh. I think it's above 50. All right, let's get to 55. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure because, you know, I was getting scratches on all of them. It just depends. This one's... cut myself. This one's rolling still. It depends on how much pressure you put on this. If you start putting a lot of pressure, I think you can make marks. But if you are just pushing along the surface... Oh yeah, this one's digging in. Now, yeah, that's definitely... So it's definitely not above 60. Did we skip 55? I think we did. Here's 55. You kind of hear it. All right. Yeah, we're scratching it. It's all right. We can fix that. Don't worry. Yeah, I'd say it's between 50 and 55. Just my estimation. Now, what this helps you on is not necessarily... I mean, yeah, you can tell if a blade has not been heat treated at all, because if it hasn't, then something like this will probably dig into your metal. But if it has, then it should slide off. And this is 1095 carbon steel. So let me get something else I was practicing with. All right, so first let's just zoom in on them scratches down there. You see that? But this was a HRC 60. As soon as I touched that, it dug into it. And these other ones, like I said, I'm learning. All right, so I took another potentially known value, Bird Robin 2, 8CR 13 MOV, and I was over here again testing on the tank. So let's try that. Hey, get back up there. 2 blades. Oh, it doesn't want to stand up. Stop it. Bird's being wacky. All right, so let's start with the 40. Unzoom so we can actually see what the hell's going on. And I'm just going to push it along here, and it slides. Slides easily. It's not digging into the metal. I could make it dig in, I think, if I pushed real hard, but that's not the purpose of this. It's not to file away. It's to see the temper, to test it. All right. So now we've got 45. Still sliding, so it's above 45 on its hardness. 50. Still slides. 55. Still sliding. Wow. It's probably between 55 and 60, you know, like a 58 or something like that, because this one should dig in. It's still sliding. Man, that's pretty good. So this HCR13 MOV is tempered more than this. I can tell you that right now. It's starting to dig here. It should. This is the highest we go on this. Not by much, though. I don't know if you can see that. Those are from the last time I was messing around. I'm testing all the way up through here. Let's go on this side. Push forward, forward and back. I got snagged up on that indent of the trademark R. Yeah, it digs in. It digs in. I guess you gotta apply a little. If you get too light of a pressure, you're just gonna slide off anyway. So let's try 60. Let's see if he digs in. Yeah, I'm feeling a little. It's just like anything else, man. It just takes practice, especially something done by hand. You know, a machine that you put it in, and it's got a little ball and pressure detent, you know, transducer, and it figures out everything for you. When you're doing it by hand, you can get fooled. I think 55 is not cutting it. Yeah, my guess is this steel is between 55 and 60, because it's just kind of like polishing it. Let's go on this side. We'll go down here. Oh, that laser, you can feel it. Is that a laser? No, it's not laser. It's just kind of a rubber stamp. Yeah, it's sliding. It's not... It's not scratching the metal at 55. So, I guess you could look it up, you know, what's a Rockwell hardness. I didn't look up what the Rockwell hardness of a HCR13 MOV is in a bird. But this is, like I said before, when I didn't know what I was doing. It was trying to file it, dig the hell out of it. So, those things are not too bad if you know what you're doing and stuff like that. It's not super. It's precise within its range, but it can be fooled, I think, by the amount of pressure you're using on the tool and where you're testing. If you're testing on an edge or something, you're going to always be grabbing, you know, and digging it. Like if I test it up here, if I went like this, even the lowest one, let's see that. We'll try that. Oh yeah, you feel when you hit that bump, but that's not what you should be doing. You should be running along. You should be running along like this. Yeah, and there's like one edge down here where it digs in. Even it kind of slides on that. Yeah, it slides on that. So yeah, I guess it's all skill, you know, method, technique, skill. I believe these tools, you know, are accurate. It's not like a Chinese knockoff. These are made in Japan. And they usually make pretty good tools. So there you go. There's a little touch up on that. You know what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to get a sheath for it or make one. Right now I'm just using the cardboard sleeve that it came in. Put in there. And yeah, the handle really doesn't need a lot of finishing. It's not, I could sand it down, but you know, it just doesn't feel bad right now. I probably will just sand this area down. The only part where metal comes up a little bit is this right here. But the rest of it is really good, so yeah, I guess if you find any of these, that's its number. OH714, and the X is because of it's a second. But anyway, there you go. Somebody asked, someone said, why would they go to the trouble of stamping second on a blade? And that's just to let people know in manufacturing and stuff like that, not to process it further. That's probably one thing. And then the other is when they go to sell it, they won't have somebody buy this as a second and then try to turn around and sell it as new, and it come right back to their factory and say, hey man, you sold this thing as new and it's got this big old chunk down here. What's up with that? And they're like, no, we sold it as second. So they mark the blades like that. For anybody that didn't know that, that's why they do that. It's not just for their own processing, but also for a lot of times it's just rejected. Like they go through steps. Like the machine will cut out, like the basic blank or stamp it out or whatever they do, and then they'll go through another machine probably that presses these things in here, and they just go through different steps and different machines, different operators and stuff. And this part right here was part of the secondary bevel. They had already probably started the first bevel, and now they were just going to cut the secondary bevel. I don't know exactly how they do this, but I do know somebody screwed up right there. And it's, like I said, it's no big deal. It's just a little, how much you're going to use it out of a 14-inch blade. How often are you going to depend on this very end right here, to be exact, and tolerances and everything. It'll still cut. So, there you go. I think these, even they call it a butcher knife. Man, you're butchering like the whole animal, the whole carcass, like a pig or a cow or something. You're lobbing off limbs with this thing. It's pretty cool though, because it can be dual purpose. You can use it, in your camp, kind of like to cut big steaks or something if you want. But you could also probably use this as a machete, a 14-inch machete. And if it came down to you, zombie attack, this would make a pretty good short sword, man. Pretty good. Improvised short sword. So there you go. Hope you found that somewhat interesting. Man, 17 minutes. The last time after I compile it and everything, it gets like up to 20 minutes. Last time it took over 2 hours to upload. I think they're dinging me because I've used up too much data somehow. Somehow I use up too much data. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.